I guess I would say just one thing about the Falun Gong. The whereas clause on page 3, which refers to religious organizations such as the Falun Gong and the Roman Catholic Church, gives me some concern. No one quite knows what the Falun Gong is. To characterize it as a religious organization is certainly not accurate either. But what is it? Who knows? And I don't think it's up to us to define it. In recent history of Hong Kong SAR, they have by and large treated the Falun Gong with benign neglect, and they've been urged to do that. And the Falun Gong has gone out of their way to be provocative in Hong Kong, to bring about confrontation. By and large, that hasn't worked because they haven't reacted violently against it. The only concern I have, therefore, is perhaps we ought to find different rhetoric to refer to the Falun Gong. In no way negatively about it, but to compare it as a religious organization to the Roman Catholic Church is not quite the fact either. So with this reservation and these statements, Mr. Chairman, I'm going to support the resolution offered by Mr. Cox and a bipartisan group. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
If there are no amendments, the question occurs on the motion.
Mr. Chairman, can I just, right here, just
who?
Right here.
Mr. Rohrabacher.
Just a note, and with due respect to my good friend Mr. B. Ryder, I don't believe the Falun Gong is operating in a provocative way. I mean, just an organization that believes in, they're stretching and doing and yoga and meditation and things like that. May be provocative to a dictatorship. That's not provocative to people who believe in freedom. The Falun Gong, and we don't, the bottom line is they believe it's their religion, and that's what's important. And what's important is they have a right, as long as they're not using force on someone else, to practice their religion. And I don't believe that that's provocative. And I don't think that we should, certainly.
I thank the gentleman. I did make, I hope, effectively the distinction within Hong Kong, where I think it is absolutely true. And
are they breaking windows there? Might I ask, are they breaking windows? Or are they blockading streets?
So I do not indicate that they're acting in this fashion, in general. It's just that in Hong Kong they have tried to bring repression down upon themselves in order to make a point. And it's unfortunate. Fortunately, at this point, they've been treated with benign neglect and just allowed to do their thing, which is fine.
My guess
does things.
Well, my guess is this is not even civil disobedience. Civil disobedience includes sitting down in front of busy roads and blocking this and that. That wouldn't be included.
Would the gentleman
the Falun
yield?
Gong, I think, just makes their presence absolutely known.
Would the gentleman yield?
Yes, I would.
I would just like to direct the committee back to the subject matter.
Thank you very much.
The merits or demerits of Falun Gong.
Thank you very much. Wisely said, and I yield back the balance of my time. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman.
Who is
right here?
Mr. Paul.
Thank you. I just want to make a brief comment. Unfortunately, I want to mention the word Falun Gong. But basically don't see a great deal of harm in resolutions like this, but I'm very unenthusiastic about them for the very simple point that you observe right here, the disagreement between Mr. B. Ryder and Mr. Rohrabacher, which tells me that we don't have, a monopoly on wisdom about what is good for Hong Kong. And therefore, sometimes I just think we ought to improve ourselves here at home, set a good example, and maybe Hong Kong would do a better job. And I yield back.
I thank the gentleman for his addition to the discussion. And the question occurs on the motion report, the resolution HRES 277 favorably. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed nay. The ayes have it. The motion report favorably is adopted without objection. The staff is directed to make any technical and conforming changes.